I'm sitting in a 2024 Volvo S60 T8 Recharge all-wheel drive ultimate trim and the dark theme. Now, this is a $62,000 vehicle. It gets fairly good fuel economy. So it's showing 31 miles per gallon for gas and then 74 mpge. I've been getting, just like on average with both, I've driven at 550 miles so far, 41.9 miles per gallon. 12, almost 13 hours of driving, and average speed of 42 miles per hour. So 41.9 miles per gallon, that's pretty good. Now, that could be achieved with just a regular gas engine, like a 4-cylinder. So this particular vehicle is designed, the hybrid system, the plug-in hybrid system is not 100% for efficiency. It does add to the efficiency, don't get me wrong, but it is mostly for the performance, and the performance of this vehicle is very impressive. Especially for a 4-cylinder hybrid system, this is a thrill to drive. Now, it's one of those type of vehicles where it has these different settings here. So let's go into the settings, and you go to driving, and what you're gonna have to do is you can choose a hybrid, power, pure, or constant all-wheel drive. Constant all-wheel drive would be a slippery surfaces potentially, or more of an off-road type situation. And then you have power, which focuses on the performance, and that's where it really comes to life. But you have it in hybrid, it's gonna drive kind of normal, but then when you really hit the accelerator, it just kicks in gear, and it is just impressive acceleration. Now, the battery usage here, you have auto, hold, or charge. So hold will just hold whatever battery percentage you have. Charge will actually, it puts a little bit of a drag on the system, but it will charge the battery at the expense of fuel economy. And then auto will just kind of like, use it in whatever the vehicle is designed to use it. And it usually uses the battery first. And then after that, it'll, kick in the engine and stuff. But pure is one of those where it's just pure electric. Power is engine starts up when I hit it. Hybrid is actually pretty good. I mean, the power is impressive to drive in, but the hybrid is as well, especially considering when you need the power, you have it. It is there. So it's one of those things where you have to go in there and turn it on. So if you get in the vehicle, it's going to default this to auto. Now, you can put always start the drive mode in pure here if you want to, and it'll start with the electricity, which it kind of does that already. It just kind of already starts with the electricity anyway, and it'll deplete that to 0, and then it'll, kind of act like a normal hybrid vehicle. Now, the electric part by itself isn't significantly fast. The gas isn't significantly fast. It's the combination of the two that makes it fast and impressive, the performance. The buttons here on the steering wheel, this is basically a carryover model. So this is the same thing as I did last year, 2023. This is a different color, this has different wheels, but it's basically the same thing as before that I've done a full video on before. But I just want to mention a few things. That the cruise control, since these buttons aren't marked with words or anything, you turn on the cruise control here. You also use the same button to cancel. You resume here, change the speeds. Now, if you hit the right button with the cruise control, when the cruise control is on, when you hit this right button, it'll toggle the steering assist on or off. So you can, in prior years, you would go left and right and stuff like that. This is just right. You hit the right button, hit it again, and toggle it on and off. So you keep that in mind. Also, here on the right side, there has a full digital screen here. And when you hit this button here, all it does is just toggle on or off the map there in the middle. And then you have this button, you press that, and it pulls up the odometer and your trip, and it has a resettable trip, and then it has a trip automatic. In other words, like the last time you started up and started driving type thing. But overall, it's a nice screen, and it just doesn't have a lot of menus and submenus and all that stuff on the screen. It's fairly straightforward. Has the speedometer and the rate in which you're using the electricity and what gear you're in, that kind of thing. And of course you have separate gauges for the fuel and the electricity, and it gives you a estimated range there as well. Now the seats are really comfortable, pretty comfortable. I mean, for a Volvo, they're not the best. I think most people will be fine in them, but these particular seats for me, not really that great. I think most people will like them though. I really like it. It's the way they look, and they have a lot of motion on the seat, so you can adjust it in all kinds of different ways. So these are the wool blend performance seats, and they are really impressive looking and fairly comfortable. I mean, if you get them adjusted right for you, I think most people will have them, will be satisfied with them. And this one has the Oriforce crystal shifter, which really makes it look more impressive. You just open the door and you're like, wow, look at that. And it's illuminated at nighttime, like you see in my night video. Very impressive. Now it has the start. You turn this to start it, and you also turn it again to stop it, to turn the engine off. You know, turn the vehicle off. So that's something, it's a little bit different. This compartment here is kind of small. I got a bunch of junk in here, but this compartment's surprisingly small. Not a big deal, but something to consider. Does have heated seats in the back and stuff. The back seats are great. They're nice and they look good. Lots of room back there. Has the fixed headrests, like a lot of Volvos. So this color is called Thunder Gray, which is really, really nice. I think last year there was a white vehicle that I did a video on, and so this Thunder Gray with these gloss black features here in the front look pretty cool. Has the full 360 camera system, Thor's hammers, daytime running light, LED, active bending headlights. And these are the wheels here, which is different than the ones of last year. It has the gloss black finish there, looking pretty impressive. Right here is the charge port right here for charging, and on the other side is the fuel door. So it'd be nicer if they had them both on the driver's side. But yeah, pretty nice looking vehicle. A lot of gloss black. Back end looks nice. And it has the razor sharp LED taillights with also the LED fog lights. There's fog lights in the back, so it's rear fog lights. So that way people can see you in dense fog. It has like a really sharp beam here on one side. And I showed all this stuff in the night video. Parking sensors all the way around. The camera system's good. There's the fuel door there. And it has the key system. It has the proximity key. So it's the full proximity key here. Actually, I just made a video of taking a battery out and stuff like that. But it has the sensors on all four doors, front doors and back doors. So that's convenient. A lot of times you want to get in the back seat, you can just put your hand on the door and open it up. Yeah, these seats look pretty nice. They have a lot of adjustments here, and you can adjust this thigh extension. You can also have it's a four-way lumbar adjustment as well. And yeah, impressive looking vehicle in general. Just open the door and look inside, and most people are pretty impressed with the styling, the materials, the crystal shifter, stuff like that. It has the Bowers and Wilkins speakers in it as well, which is pretty cool. Little metal grills here. Then it has this wood grain, kind of like matching the seats in a way. It's kind of gray, similar to the seats. It has that there on the dash. The back seats, fairly decent amount of room. Even with that seat all the way back, there's still enough room for me to sit in the back here. And there's armrests, cup holders there as well. The seats do fold down, which is interesting because last time I didn't find this button, so I couldn't figure out how to fold them down. So it's basically an electronic release here. So we can fold the seats down, and they're electronically controlled. And I like the way the headrests fold down as well. And it does have the ability to push a button here on the screen to fold those headrests down, just to get them out of the way for your visibility, which is kind of neat. I got a bunch of junk in the trunk here, but Like you see, the seats fold down so you can add to your cargo space. It has some exposed metal back here, but there is no spare tire. It just has a tire inflator kit, so that's something to consider. And it comes with a charger that is, this is a 110, and it goes from either 12 amp or 16 amp. So this is a plug-in hybrid, and you pretty much have to plug it in. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense to buy this vehicle and not plug it in. So it does have a light here, and I'll show you that in a night video, but charging it takes about 4.5 hours to fully charge if it's completely depleted. It uses 16 kilowatt hours of energy, and it gives you about 35 to 40 miles. So it's kind of surprised at how long it takes to charge, because it's limited 16 amps basically. So it takes a while to charge, but it does give you the ability to have about 35, 40 miles. For me, it's been like 35 miles of EV range, but it will kick in the gas motor if you really need that power. So there you have it, just kind of a quick reminder of the S60 and the 2024 model. Same thing as the 2023. Basically, they have different color options and all that stuff, but it's basically the same vehicle. It does have a heads-up display, which is good, and pretty advanced features, fairly easy to use. It has settings. You have different apps here. Climate control pops up here on the screen. So the screen's pretty nice, fairly easy to use. It's, well, you got to get used to it, I guess, like anything. But but yeah, I'm kind of like still on the fence with hybrids like this, where it just seemed like all the vehicles are going hybrids, and not sure how I feel about some of them. This one does feel like it is refined as a hybrid. It does feel pretty good. It drives nice. It gives you that power, and but it's one of those things where some vehicles is like, why did they go with a hybrid? The fuel economy is not that great. The power isn't all that great. Doesn't feel very refined. But this is one of those type of vehicles where it's like, yeah, I can see this, because it gives you that power, unbelievable power. I'm talking about, okay, so it is 523 pound-feet of torque. So that is significant. 455 horsepower and 523 pound-feet of torque. So yeah, that is substantial. That is unbelievable. And it does feel like it. Like when you really get down on this vehicle, it is strong. It feels very impressive. One thing to note is that it has this panoramic sunroof, and it has the shade that does not cover 100% of the light. A little bit of light shines through. It's not a huge deal. Just want to mention that. The front part right here slides back. The back part is fixed. But yeah, it's a nice looking sunroof. And like a lot of the buttons in the vehicle, the sunroof switch is basically touch sensitive. It's not like an actual button.